Hello future Grandmasters, it's great to see all the recent feedback on the videos. Obviously, I wanted to cover some recent events in addition to some things that have been happening. Obviously, there's been a FIDE statement regarding the freestyle chess project. Freestyle is another term for Fischer Chess 960, which is basically shuffling the position of the pieces. And there's been significant drama, and obviously with the World Rapid and Blitz, FIDE basically created a fictitious double co-world championship title, which, from my view, illegitimizes the entire tournament, illegitimizes FIDE. So I'm quite disappointed. Obviously, Dvorkovich gave an interview on ChessBase India, where he basically said that because they had lost motivation after playing 3 draws, it was hard to get them to play, which sort of shows that the president of the organization doesn't feel the power or the ability to discipline the players when it's literally his entire job. So this is quite significant for the future of chess, because if FIDE continues to be pushed around by Magnus and freestyle chess is an extension of him, or an embodiment of him and his goals for chess, this is very important. So basically they, saying FIDE is under the committee, blah, 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 we don't oppose, blah, blah, private companies. And then the important part is that, there's this contract. So I remember playing the Grand Swiss in 2021 where you signed a contract saying that you wouldn't participate in alternate world championship cycles. This is probably what they did, to prevent secession, similar to when Kasparov and Short seceded from FIDE. So they're saying, I will say that if the freestyle people want to call it the Freestyle World Championship, I do think that would be an attack on FIDE's legal rights, and I do think that FIDE has the right to defend it. However, the way that they're approaching it is difficult, because I woke up this morning to an email with their contract, because I am one of the players who is in the freestyle sort of chess club, and I'll be competing in the freestyle chess tour. So they're sort of saying, we're giving you goodwill in 2025, probably because Magnus and Hikaru refused to participate in the World Rapid and Blitz. So here you see all these financial interests with Hikaru, Magnus, freestyle, FIDE, tournaments, private tournaments, FIDE cycles, where players are defining, it's a very, very slippery slope. Although certain players might represent a larger amount of sponsorship or eyeballs, when you are a regulatory body like FIDE proclaims it to be, and you are beholden to the rules of the International Olympic Committee, you have a responsibility to remain unbiased and act in the interest of the integrity of the sport. So I would be very, very careful as FIDE in navigating the financial relationship they have with chess.com or freestyle or any other tour, because they must remain impartial, and they cannot let a player who is beholden to their rules and their will, define that. So they're saying open to dialogue, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, all qualified players are expected to sign an additional contract, so all top players above 27-25, including myself, and you can't participate in an alternative World Chess Championship in any variation of chess not approved by FIDE, except for the Freestyle Tour 2025. So that would mean that it's sort of a funny thing that's happening. But anyways, so that would mean that all the players, it's sort of funny. You could imagine there's a crazy house world championship. Does FIDE care about that? Or does FIDE only care about the 960 world championship because it's a variant that's now gotten an investment of upwards of $12 million? So I received the contract on my phone. I don't think it'd be wise to share it, but it's basically this. I would imagine what would happen if Gukesh wouldn't sign it. Are they going from giving Magnus and Nepo to world championship, and then are they going to take away Gukesh's world championship if he were to participate? So this is all sort of vying for power. I do think that FIDE is not a perfect organization, and I don't think that it is right the way that Hikaru, Magnus, and freestyle, or maybe not them all together, but them as individuals, leverage their power. As New York was the greatest example. I don't think that players should be able to get privileges because of just who they are. Everyone is equal as a competitor. I've been a victim of that, being blacklisted and being stripped of opportunity. So I would say that although FIDE's contract probably could have been, it would be a question to a lawyer to understand the exact details. I would say that, and you obviously don't know what's actually happening behind the scenes with freestyle and them, right? I think that if there's more transparency, right? When someone releases, freestyle released a statement, and again, we'll go to Emil Sudovsky's tweet. So, to be clear, any private company as well with events, including server deploys, cooperates, Grand Chester, blah, 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 blah. We don't accept, this is fair. This is fair. FIDE does better price funds. I completely agree. FIDE does raise a lot of money. However, I would say that FIDE should really work harder to make chess more of a meritocracy and to make chess more feasible for professionals. So I think that a lot of if FIDE really wanted to do things that were for the good of all chess players, then FIDE has a responsibility to perhaps influence, change, or incentivize organizers to have more open qualifiers and have more opportunities. Like in most competitive sports, there are qualifiers, there are feeders. Like, for example, the Grand Chess Tour, although it's a great initiative with a lot of money, the Grand Chess Tour, while you could consider it an ATP tour, in reality cannot make a claim of deciding who the best player in the world is, because there is not a single open qualifier to any of their events. Imagine it is a gentleman's club that only certain people have access to. And I don't want to disparage the efforts of the tour. It's an amazing initiative. However, if you want to have the responsibility of FIDE, and FIDE's role in decide in their tournaments that they organize, or to decide who the best player in the world is. And obviously they have done a good job in some cases of raising money, utilizing certain governments that are very passionate about chess, where they have direct access to leaders of the country, like in India or Uzbekistan or Russia, however, if you want the game to actually be taken seriously as an international sport, and you want it to actually be taken seriously and watched by people consistently. For example, when you watch any sport, it is all the major events are at the same time. They've been happening for years and years and years. They sell at arenas. The entire chess calendar is littered with all these different tours, so people don't know what to watch. Certain tournaments that have a dedicated, let's say, promotional base, like Vaikanze, Norway Chess, Singfield Cup, sure. But FIDE should, in my opinion, with all this money that they should just have a monthly double elimination knockout tournament, or improve the system at least to where you're giving access, right? So all these random tournaments to this entire cycle, like the Grand Swiss, and it needs to be opened up to everyone. So obviously, this is probably FIDE's reaction to them realizing, wait, we just discredited the entire mission of their organization, which is to uphold the value, the integrity of chess and to grow the game of chess by, destroying the meaning of a world championship title. So this is probably, let's say, a knee-jerk reaction to that, where they're trying to restore the balance and regain power and legitimacy in the chess world. But perhaps they went too far. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you would like to see in future videos. I might do mini vlogs documenting my training, showing a day in the life. Maybe we'll do some training sessions with Levy. Maybe I'll do some training sessions with other chess creators, Botes, who knows. I'm a man of peace. I'm on the journey to world chess champion. And either you're on the Hans Niemann train, you can get on now, or miss the train forever.